Ben Parker had driven through many dark highways in his life, but he would always remember the night he drove through Ashwood Forest. It was a place truckers avoided, police never patrolled, and locals whispered about with fear in their voices. Ben didn't believe in ghosts or curses. He was a practical man, a delivery driver, carrying late-night cargo from Oregon to Northern California. He checked the time. 1:17 a.m. Rain tapped lightly on the windshield. The radio played faint country music while his headlights cut through endless darkness. The road was so empty that Ben felt like he was the last person left in the world. His dispatcher's voice echoed in his head. "Don't take the Ashwood route. Go around." But the suggested safe route would add 3 hours. Ben needed rest and wanted to reach his motel by morning. His eyes were already heavy from driving all day. He saw the sign, Ashwood Forest, next right, shortcut. He turned without hesitation. The road immediately changed. No streetlights, no houses, no signs of life. Only tall black trees pressing close like thousands of silent watchers. His GPS glitched and froze. Typical. No network, he muttered. A figure on the road miles past. The forest grew thicker. Fog rolled low across the ground. Ben's eyelids drooped until suddenly he hit the brakes. A woman stood in the middle of the road, soaking wet, long, tangled black hair covering her face, a white dress, torn and muddy, bare feet on cold asphalt. Ben's heart raced. He lowered his window a little. "Ma'am, are you okay? Do you need help?" No answer. She slowly lifted her head. Her face was pale, swollen, and bruised. Her eyes were dark, too dark, like there were no whites in them at all. Ben's skin prickled with fear. "Do you need a ride?" he asked again, voice shaking. She nodded slowly. Everything inside him screamed no, but he couldn't leave a woman alone in the storm. He unlocked the passenger door. She climbed in without a sound. Water dripped from her entire body, soaking the seat. She stared straight ahead. Ben tried to smile nervously. "Where can I drop you?" she whispered. "Keep driving." Her voice sounded like wind blowing through a graveyard, cold, hollow. Ben's hands trembled on the wheel. The drive continued in terrifying silence. Something is wrong. Minutes passed. Ben noticed her turning her head slowly to stare at him. He forced himself to keep looking at the road. "Long night, huh?" he tried to joke. She didn't respond. Instead, she smiled, a long, unnatural smile stretching wider and wider until her cheeks split and blood trickled down. Ben gasped. He swerved, the truck nearly sliding off the road. He looked again. Her face was normal. No blood, no smile, expressionless. Ben's heart hammered. What the hell did I see? He kept driving. He is waiting. The woman's head snapped toward Ben with sudden speed. "He is waiting," she whispered. Ben swallowed. Who? Who is waiting?" She raised a trembling hand and pointed into the dark trees. The Watcher. Ben followed her gaze and almost screamed. Something ran between the trees. Not an animal. Tall, bone-thin, moving on all fours like a spider. Its eyes glowed red, watching the truck. Ben accelerated. "What is that thing?" The woman dug her nails into her legs, tearing skin and bleeding. She kept repeating, "You took his road, you took his road, you took his road." Ben's breath quickened. Okay, I'm getting out of here." But the GPS displayed a horrifying message. "No exit ahead. Turn back." Ben turned the wheel, but the road behind was gone. Only endless trees. He felt trapped, like the forest itself had swallowed the road. The Watcher attacks. The woman suddenly leaned forward, staring at the windshield. "He's here." The spider-like creature leaped from the trees, landing on the hood of the truck with a loud thud. Ben screamed. The creature's head tilted sideways, bones cracking as it looked into the windshield, smiling wide with a mouthful of long broken teeth. Its skin was gray, stretched too tight over its bones. Long black claws scraped the glass. "Scree!" Ben floored the gas. The creature clung on, tearing deep scratches into the hood. The woman beside him laughed softly, a broken, haunting giggle. "You should not have come here." Ben grabbed his steering wheel tightly and yelled, "Get off!" He swerved violently, left, then right, until the creature was thrown off into the darkness. He drove faster than ever before. The woman was gone. The passenger seat was empty, only muddy footprints remained. Ben felt cold breath on the back of his neck. His stomach dropped. Something was behind him, the back seat. He slowly looked into the rearview mirror. The woman sat in the back seat now, face inches from the mirror, eyes black as... Her voice was layered, Not just one voice, dozens whispering together, "He hunts you now." The truck windows exploded inward, shattered by invisible force. Wind roared inside. The truck lights flickered. The speedometer needle spun wildly, 100, 110, 120 miles per hour. Ben lost control. The truck spun, flipped, and rolled into darkness. Everything went silent. The aftermath. Ben woke up upside down. His head bled, his body ached. He crawled out of the broken window and collapsed on the wet ground. The road was ahead, but his truck was on a completely different road now, a normal highway with lights and signs. A car approached. A police officer stepped out, rushing to help him. "Sir, are you hurt? We got calls about a crash." Ben sobbed in relief. Thank God, thank God," the officer frowned. "Sir, what were you doing in Ashwood Forest? That road has been closed for 10 years. Too many accidents. People disappearing. We blocked it off after the murders." Ben froze. "A woman was killed there," the officer continued. "She hitchhiked. A man picked her up and murdered her. Locals say her spirit still waits for rides." Ben shook in terror. She was in my truck." The officer sighed. "Some nights drivers claim they see the killer too. We call him the Watcher." Ben stared at the forest. Two glowing red eyes stared back, watching. Later that night, Ben stayed at a motel. He locked every door, every window. He pushed a chair against the door and tried to calm his breathing. He splashed his face with water and looked into the bathroom mirror. Behind him, she stood there. The woman, hair dripping, dark eyes wide, her voice scraped like metal. "Your ride is not over." The lights flickered. His scream echoed, cut to black. The lonely highway. Jason Miller was driving home late at night after finishing his shift at a gas station in Nevada. He hated the night shifts, but rent was due, and he needed money. The highway was empty and endless. Just black road, yellow lines, and desert silence for miles. Jason rubbed his tired eyes. Just 2 more hours and I'll be home. He lived in a small town called Willow Ridge, quiet, peaceful, and far from everything. To reach it, he always took Highway 19, a road famous for accidents and strange stories. But Jason wasn't scared easily. He turned up the radio to stay awake and kept driving, watching the mile markers pass. Mile marker 11, mile marker 12. He slowed down. The next sign was ahead. Mile marker 13. His heart skipped. This was the marker people in his town whispered about. The place where everyone who died never found their way home again. Jason forced a laugh to shake off the fear. Just superstition. He kept driving. The woman with no shoes. On the side of the road, barely visible in the moonlight, stood a woman wearing jeans and a sweater, and no shoes. She waved weakly as Jason's car approached. Jason slowed to a stop beside her. "Ma'am, are you okay? Did your car break down?" She stepped closer, pale face, trembling lips. "Please, I need help. I need to get home." Jason unlocked the door. "Get in." She sat in the passenger seat, hugging herself for warmth. Her voice shook as she spoke. "My name is Lily. I was coming home, but my car, it disappeared." Jason frowned. "Disappeared? Maybe someone stole it?" She shook her head slowly. "You don't understand. Roads here, they change. They don't let you leave." Jason swallowed nervously. "Oh, where do you live?" She pointed ahead. "Willow Ridge." Jason froze. "I live there too. I can take you." Her relief seemed too strong, desperate. "Thank you." Something about her didn't feel right, but Jason pushed that thought away. He couldn't leave someone alone in the dark desert. They drove on. The skinned coyote. The silence grew heavier. Lily pressed her hand against the window, staring into the desert like she heard something calling her. Jade lights caught something ahead, a coyote, but dead, hanging from a road sign by its own torn skin. Jason gagged. "What kind of sick?" Lily whispered. "It's a warning. We should turn back." Jason's voice trembled. "Turn back to where? There's nothing behind us." She answered quietly, "Exactly." A chill crawled up Jason's spine. He ran at the bus stop. The highway curved. Suddenly, a flickering roadside bus shelter appeared. Strange, because Jason had driven this highway for years and never saw a bus stop here. A man sat inside it, slumped over, wearing a dirty hoodie. Jason slowed. Lily grabbed his arm, fingers ice cold. "Don't stop." Jason's heart pounded. The man lifted his head. His face was peeling off like his skin was melting away. He stood, stumbling toward the road. Jason hit the gas. As they sped past, the man screamed a horrible broken sound, like a dying animal. Jason's hands shook on the wheel. "What is happening on this road?" Lily stared straight ahead. "You went past mile 13. There's no going home now." Jason glared at her. "What do you mean?" She finally looked at him, eyes filled with terror and regret. "I died here last year." Jason slammed the brakes. The car skidded to a stop. "What did you just say?" The truth of mile 13, Lily reached for her sweater, pulling it down slightly. Jason saw a deep knife wound across her throat. Her voice turned raspy. "A man picked me up. He promised to help, but he did not let me leave." Jason's stomach twisted. "Who was he?" She pointed to the mirror. Jason looked. A black pickup truck was behind them. Lights off, silent, rolling forward. Lily whispered, "Him." Jason slammed the gas pedal. The truck followed. Headlights suddenly flickered on, bright, blinding, angry. Jason tried calling 911, no signal. The road began twisting, looping, like they were driving in circles. Lily screamed, "He plays with the road. He traps those who help me." The truck rammed Jason's car. Bang! Jason almost lost control. The driver with no face. The truck pulled up beside them. Jason forced a look. The driver's window was open, but the driver had no face, just smooth skin where eyes and mouth should be. Yet Jason felt the driver watching him. The faceless man raised a hand, beckoning. Lily cried, "If he touches you, you become like him, lost forever." Jason swerved away, speeding into the unknown. But the mile marker on the roadside said, 13 again. No, 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 we're stuck." The faceless man drove forward, blocking the road. He stepped out, moving like a puppet on invisible strings. Lily shouted, "He wants you to stop! Don't stop! Keep driving!" Jason turned the wheel sharply, off the road, into the desert. The faceless man didn't chase on foot. He simply stood and watched. The endless desert. Jason drove until his gas needle hit near empty. The car finally stopped in the silent desert. He breathed heavily, shaking. Lily sat quietly, staring at the horizon. "There is one way home." Jason stared at her desperately. "Tell me." She turned to him slowly, her voice now echoing like wind through graves. "You must take my place." Jason felt his blood freeze. What do you mean?" Lily smiled, a tragic, sorrowful smile. "Someone must help the lost, or this place keeps us both." Jason got out of the car, backing away. "No!" Lily stepped out, but her feet didn't touch the ground. She floated slightly, her body flickering like a weak flame. "I just want to go home." Tears rolled down Jason's face. "I helped you. I'm not staying here." Lily's voice broke. "I'm sorry." Suddenly, the faceless man appeared behind Jason. He grabbed Jason with long, cold fingers. Lily screamed, "Let him go!" The faceless man froze. Lily looked at Jason, her eyes pleading, begging for forgiveness. Then she turned to the faceless man and whispered, "I will The man released Jason and dragged Lily away into the darkness. Her scream echoed into the night, heart-shattering and endless. Jason's escape. Jason ran back to his car and turned the key. It started. He drove faster and faster. The road finally reappeared. Mile marker 14, tears of relief streamed down his face. He made it. Jason didn't stop until he reached Willow Ridge. He ran into his house, locked everything, and collapsed on the floor. He survived mile 13, but he would never sleep peacefully again. The price of escape days passed. Jason tried to forget, but nightmares kept waking him. Screams, sand, a faceless shadow. One evening he drove again, but only near his town, staying far from Highway 19. At a traffic light, he noticed someone on the sidewalk. A woman. Jeans, sweater, no shoes. Lily. She stared at him, eyes full of pain. A whisper entered his mind, her voice, "Help me." Jason's phone vibrated. A notification he didn't remember setting. Route updated. Next destination, mile marker 13. Jason stared at the road ahead, and the light turned green. A disturbing call. Evan Turner was a rideshare driver in Los Angeles. He usually worked evenings, but tonight he picked a late shift to earn extra money. His girlfriend's birthday was coming soon, and he wanted to surprise her. The night was quiet, streetlights glowing through a thin fog. His phone beeped. New ride request, 2:41 a.m. pickup, Old Ridge Road. Evan frowned. That road was practically abandoned, only a few factories and a cemetery nearby, but he accepted the ride. He followed the GPS into a darker part of the city. When he arrived at the pin location, no houses, no lights, just a narrow road leading into woods. Then he saw her. A woman stepped out of the dark, tall, pale, wearing a neat black dress like she was coming from a funeral. Hair long and perfectly straight. Her eyes shined strangely, brighter than the headlights. She opened the back door and sat down without a word. Evan smiled nervously. "Good evening. Where to?" she whispered. "Home." Evan waited for her to enter the address in the app, but nothing happened. "Miss, I need the address." She slowly leaned forward, face close to his ear. "Just keep driving." Evan's heart skipped. The red streetlights, Evan drove back toward the city, but something was wrong. Every traffic light they reached was red, even when no cars were around. They stood there too long, minutes ticking in eerie silence. Evan joked weakly, "Guess the city hates me tonight." No reply from the back. He checked the mirror. She sat perfectly still, hands folded on her lap. Not breathing, not blinking, a chill crept into his bones. The touch, Evan tried to speak again. "So, coming from a party? A funeral, maybe?" Her voice was cold as winter. "I came from death." Evan froze. What does that mean?" She didn't explain. Evan's body stiffened when he felt her hand lightly touch the back of his seat. Not in a normal way. Her fingers wrapped around the seat like bending, stretching, growing too long. He stared straight forward, terrified to look back. The cemetery route. The GPS suddenly reactivated with a robotic voice. "Turn left." Evan looked up. That road led to Silver Pine Cemetery. "No way, I'm not," the woman whispered sharply. "Turn." It wasn't just one voice. It sounded like many voices speaking together through her throat. Evan obeyed, hands shaking. As they entered the cemetery area, the fog thickened into a suffocating wall. Gravestones appeared on both sides, like the dead were watching them pass. The car radio turned on by itself. Static. Then whispers. So many whispers. "Help! Let me out! He buried us here. She shouldn't have escaped." Evan slammed the radio off. The whispers continued. "Do you see him?" The woman's voice returned. "Do you see him, Evan?" Evan jerked. "How do you know my name?" She pointed ahead. A dark figure stood in the middle of the road. Tall, still, face hidden under a wide old hat. Evan slowed. The figure didn't move. The woman spoke, voice hollow. "He is the one who killed me." The figure lifted his head, revealing a face stitched together, corpse-like. Evan screamed and hit the gas. The car smashed into the figure, but the figure vanished like mist. The woman spoke again. "Keep driving." The passenger who isn't human. Evan's breath was fast and shallow. He checked the mirror. The woman wasn't sitting normally anymore. Her head was backwards, staring directly at him without turning her body. Her eyes were all black. "Do not look away from the road," she said. Evan couldn't hold back. "Who are you? What do you want from me?" Her neck cracked loudly as her head twisted back into the right position. "Help me get home." "Where is home?" he shouted. She smiled, lips stretching too wide. "Underground." The open grave. Suddenly the car jolted. The road was gone. Evan slammed the brakes. He'd reached the end of the cemetery. Right in front of them, a freshly dug grave. Open. Waiting. His phone buzzed. Drop-off location reach. Evan shook violently. The woman whispered, "He buried me alive in that grave. I need someone to take my place." She opened the door slowly. Her feet didn't touch the ground. She floated out, hovering above the grave. Her beautiful black dress decayed instantly, turning into shredded burial clothing. Her long hair fell away, revealing a skull on one side of her face. She stretched a bony hand toward him. "Come. I can go home if you stay." Evan scrambled out of the car and ran. Her voice chased him. "Stop! You took the wrong passenger!" The cemetery hunt. He sprinted between gravestones, searching for an exit, but the cemetery was endless, looping like a maze. Fog swallowed everything. Footsteps followed him. Not normal footsteps. Each step sounded like bones snapping. Evan screamed, "Leave me alone!" Her voice echoed everywhere. "You must finish the ride!" He tripped over a tombstone, his legs slamming painfully into stone. Crawling, he hid behind a crypt, breath sharp and quiet. Silence. Then, a whisper right behind him. "Found you." Long skeletal fingers grabbed his ankle and dragged him across the ground. Evan kicked and broke free, running blindly until he hit a road. Lights, cars, people. He made it out. He didn't look back. The aftermath. By sunrise, Evan was home, shaking, exhausted, barely alive. He threw his phone into a drawer and deleted the rideshare app. He told himself it was over. But that night, his phone vibrated. New ride request accepted. Pickup, Silver Pine Cemetery. Passenger, the woman in black. He stared in horror at his car in the driveway. The back door was wide open. Inside, black hair on the seat, dirt, and a faint message scratched into the leather. You have to finish the ride. Evan stepped back. His car engine turned on by itself. Headlights flashed like angry eyes. He ran into his house, locked every door, every window, heart pounding so hard it hurt. But then, someone knocked on the door. Slow, steady knocks. Thud. He froze, paralyzed with terror. A voice whispered through the door, soft and deadly. I'm still waiting for my driver. Door handle twisted slowly, lights flickered. And behind Evan, in the dark hallway mirror, she stood inside the house, her head turned upside down, smiling with a mouth full of darkness. The ride is not over.